Hey, welcome to another episode of, I always forget what we call this. Work in progress. So after a brief 2-year hiatus, we've decided to bring Kernow DAT back as a meetup. And for anyone who's not aware, it was a techie creative meetup which I ran a few years back. We had 5 outings. One of which was snowed off and rescheduled, one of which just got cancelled because we organised it for the wrong spot. But we had 5 meetings and we're going to bring it back for a 6th. Since then, I've been working with a team of video editors and content creators under that Sequel Bob brand. And we were trying to think how we can do things a little bit differently. You know, there's so many meetups during this pandemic, and this is filmed during COVID. There's so many meetups that have transitioned online and they've just turned into a parade of talks. So you get 3 talks and then you'll be thrown into a breakout room, and that's great, but it's not different. And when I'm trying to do events, I try and do things a little bit different to others, particularly when they're my own brands. So what we're going to do is create an event based around the release of a micro documentary. And this micro documentary is focused around a creative project in Cornwall, but one that has a little bit of a tech twist. Now, the team at the moment, as we speak, are going through all the footage that we captured. I can exclusively announce here that it's all based around a project called Book Sniffers Club by Justin Wigan. He heads it up, although a chap called James does a lot of the design and technical side of it. And we're creating a micro documentary based around this, and we filmed it at a place called Marb Library, which is the last privately owned library in Cornwall. And it's just floor to ceiling amazing books. I might be able to show you. I won't show you, but you'll get to see in a bit when I go to find photographs. It's an absolutely amazing venue, and it's just floor to ceiling, wall to wall books that are up to like 300-400 years old. And it's got a magical feeling to it. And when I talked to Justin about this project and he said book sniffing, this is the place that came to mind. And I thought, well, how can we do something based around that? I had a team of video editors in the time around when I was talking to Justin. I thought, well, let's create a micro documentary. What about if we release that micro documentary during an online event and we can have Q&A? That'd be really good. So we're going to do that. Now, we've got a very short timeline. The event's on the 14th of December. Normally I would give 2 months, historically 2 months to promote one of these, but we've got a few weeks. So I'm very rapidly putting together the website, the ticketing, the newsletter, everything like that. And tonight, in this very short video, probably going to be about an hour, I'm going to focus on doing the website. So I've had a few sleepless nights recently, so I've got out of bed and I've done kind of the prep work for this, but I need to wrap it up and actually get this website out there so that I can start promoting the thing. Literally, as we speak, that's why I keep looking at my wrist. My team are organising their storyboarding session to plan out that documentary. Documentary probably is overplaying it. Now the Kernow DAT website is a simple static HTML website. There's very little design to it. It's just got a nice font, we've got a nice header image, and then information about the speakers and the projects that we have during it. So I just need to update that, just basically finish off the last few bits, and then just tweak the wording in the meta descriptions to make it suitable for a new event or a reworked event. So I will come back to the meta descriptions, but for now, I'm just going to start at the top, go down and make sure that everything's fine. And we can get rid of that. No, that's not what we want. No time. So we've updated it here. We've got a ticket link that takes us down to the right section. And we see Kernow DAT. That's all our YouTube channels. One of the reasons why we're doing this is that as a company and as an activity, we've moved more towards multimedia content. So it's kind of advantageous for us to have a bunch of people following us on social media, because on YouTube, because having 2 YouTubers on the team means we're probably going to end up using that platform quite a lot. So I'm just going to clean this up as I go down, make sure the indentation's right. Been editing this on a Chromebook late at night. Just there's a new device we got for our intern, so I wanted to get used to using it before I hand it off to them. I mean, we haven't hired them yet, but before I hand it off to them. So just get the indentation. That's the flex, the main container. So this text has been updated, and all I need to do is add a letter. Oh, I've just forgot. Tyler created an amazing little video for me to set up a noise gate so that y'all wouldn't hear my typing, and I've forgotten to set that up in OBS. Never mind. Okay, so that ticket button will take us down to the right section. Is it Book Sniffers Club or is it Book Sniffer Club? Let me just have a quick check. Sniffers. It's not Sniffers, is it? It's Sniffers. Book Sniffers Club. Book Sniffers Club. Put that there. Just make that a little bit more. I never know whether you should wrap the anchor tag in wrap the H4 in the anchor tag or the anchor tag in the H4. I'm going to stick with that for now. Should probably that link work, so let's do that. Just in within placeholder. Justin is a man. That's really hard to describe what he actually does. Let's see if he's on LinkedIn. Do artists use LinkedIn? Well, luckily they do use artists do use LinkedIn. Seems everybody does nowadays. That's one paragraph. As you can see, this is a very basic website. It was built just to, you know, get something up and running as quick as possible. HR wrap, which I absolutely hate, but hey ho, there we go. So James Ockleford, still not got a headshot for him, but hey ho. I'm going to guess James is not a PE teacher. No. That is James. I've not actually spoken to James yet, apart from over email, so it's good that I now know what he looks like. So it's quite a unique name. I would guess if we do a search. No. A man who likes to keep an air of mystery around him. Just looking for a photograph. How big an image do I actually need? Because I will just go with that if it's good enough. Yeah, we'll go with that. The quicker solution is quite often the best. So that's James done. Has the team managed to put all together? Yes, they have. That's what I like about teamwork. So, got that image of him. So if we open that up with GIMP, we can just give it a bit of a resize because we don't need a 234 megabyte image. I'm so excited about this project. It's really cool. Like when we've been talking about it as a team, we've literally not been able to keep a straight face, and that's no disrespect to the actual project. It's just so out there, new and interesting. It's just hit a chord with us. So if we do a 600 by 600, actually, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to try and take that a bit wider. Yeah, it's just so different. That's what I love about it. It is different, and I'm going to be honest. When we first thought about it, we were like, "Oh yeah, maybe is this real? Is Justin pulling our leg?" But you know what? There is actually something in it. If we make that 400, so file override. 92 will do. Jobs are good and discard changes. We're going to put that in our folder structure. Line them up, because that does my edit. And then we go James. Make sure we spell his name right. Refold. So if we go to Instagram, James Ockleford. Twitter, just over Instagram. Let's see if we can get a bio for James Ockleford. So bio might be a little bit more difficult for James. Obviously a man who likes to keep an air of mystery about himself. Yeah, Behance was still going. I do like James's work. It's funny, the designer for That Seagull Bob's called James as well. Okay, so that Wayback Machine is always really slow. Okay, that will do. I think I'm going to delete that because it's not actually. I will comment that out. Comment that out. That doesn't really work there, so I'm going to go that. There's a natural break somewhere. Oh. So if you're in the wider Penzance area, the Morab Library is somewhere you've got to go and have a look. It's so. Honestly, when Justin went in there, he was walking around like a kid in a candy shop. He didn't really know it existed before I put it in front of him. And yeah, it's a magical place. So normally I'll do a bit more around optimizing that, but premature optimization is the root of all evil. So numbers are limited. That is strictly true, but they are limited to like hundreds. I'll do a callback if we can. There's no sponsors for this one, so we don't need to worry about that. Newsletter's good. Code of conduct good. Let me just. That makes a little bit of thing. So the image will be replaced. Need to add the Facebook pixel into here, so I can get that from another project. If you just think. I hate this website. I really hate this website. So flipping over engineered for something so simple. Head shed. And then there's something down in the footer about Facebook, wasn't there? FBQ, let's do this. Yes. I really need to sit down and sort out these clickbacks. Melissa would be shouting at me right now. I heard data-driven marketing. So we always do a little bit of Facebook marketing or similar for this project. A little bit of marketing goes a long way, especially if you can get people to engage with your event on Facebook. So I need to update that to Light Analytics at some point, but we won't faff with that now. Okay, so we've got a ticket in place. Example callback. Leave that there for now. Newsletter. Okay, I need to update that newsletter thing. I won't do that while I'm on the call view because it will expose people's personal information. Where am I looking for this demo? I think those should be always like that. So speaker, line item stress, justify content center. So how big is that containing div? Okay, individual speaker card. So if I do individual speaker card 100, make that block. See what happens. Whoa. Because flex box, isn't it? Flex, yes. So speaker blurb, what am I doing with that? I love how I'm using block display in a flex box. So individual speaker card width. And then as that grows, okay, so that's good up until then. Refresh, and then I've got some funky padding on this, haven't I? Speaker details flex, H4, aha. Individual speaker card, image. Let me do that. Okay, they look more centered to me. I think something's still out there. That image. It's got margin width. Okay. I think we can afford to make those images a bit bigger. Oh, that's not good. Border radius 100. So it's 2 years since I've picked up this project. Just remember that, right? When you're judging me for my code and just hacking it together. That's what the web is built for, right? So let's see what that is. That's a H3, which means this needs to be a H4. We've got H1, H2. Oh, we don't have a H2. So I think we need to make that H4 a little bit bigger. Let's see, how big is it like that? I must have computed. So it's 18. So if we do 1 rem, 1.1 rem. Oh. I think 1.3 is about right. So speakers H4. Really doesn't look good having the two so different, but I'll see what I can do when I speak to James on the weekend. Gotta work with what we got, right folks? So we keep that because when it goes like that, what's all this space here? Speakers blurb. Why did I put that in? So, speaker blurb, individual speaker card. So it's got total margin bottom, padding bottom, which equates to 1632. So speaker blurb, padding bottom 32. Speaker blurb. I just remembered why I put that in there. Speaker blurb. Yeah, just keep that spacing consistent. There we do have that massive right. Yeah, I'm getting there, folks. So to put a section in for first schedule. So the reason why that was in there is because when I do that, those HRs are not the same size. I want to stop that break happening. So what is causing that? It will be the block level element when it's speaker details flex. And when I go like that, hey. So basically I want to remove anything that is my back. It's going to be something to do with that, isn't it? Float left. And there must be a text line center that comes in. So what speaker details? Speaker, individual speaker card, image, individual speaker card, image, float left. Get rid of that. And then yeah, float none. Padding left 0, speaker details. Individual speaker card. Right center. We can get rid of that, see what that does. Doesn't look quite centered though. Okay. Fix speaker. Let's just make a quick commit there. So that will work. It's just that. How's it measuring that height? Yeah. So that P. And then we've got speaker wrapper, and then the next div is that. Demos. Why is there such a big fucking gap over? Excuse my language. Axis H3. I'm just going to change that down. I'm just going to bang that down to 3. Okay. So in the flow, we'll put that first. Oh. Bloody look. Hasn't quite worked as I'd hoped. Let's have a quick look. We're thinking about it, it kind of has worked. It's worked exactly as it's supposed to work. So speakers flex is the containing box, and obviously that styling is derived from speaker details A. Okay. That definitely needs to be outside of that containing box, because if I save that, that's what I want that bit to look like. I just want the title up here. Does it need a title? I don't think it does. That'll do. We'll just make more. We'll just wait the word more of library clickable. Jobs are good. That image could do with a bit more padding, so if we go back to our folder, images, speakers, supporters, no problem with GIMP. Just needs a little bit more space, doesn't it? Image, canvas size, if we say 550 will probably do it, to be honest. It's only helped by a little bit in it. Let's go 600. Color picker, pick color, background layer, done, boom, bring that down, file, export, file. That'll do nicely. Why has that got so much space underneath? Speak below. Doesn't look like that structure's quite right. This is speaker blurb. Where's all that bloody space coming from? Okay, so if I change speaker blurb and add speaker blurb, sponsor blurb, supporter blurb even. Blurb, and then save that. And that. It should visually stay the same, but it shouldn't get resized. But it's not centered anymore. So was there other stuff? That's odd. That's not applied when it's speaker blurb. When it's sponsor blurb, it does get applied. Okay. So there's going to be a P. Cool. So now that should be ever so slightly. Okay, so that should be just want that on speaker blurb. Move that from there. Gotta love the cascade. Just made that a chunk shorter. Fantastic. We are winning, folks. We are winning. And then the rest of that comes from padding on tickets, I'm guessing. Yeah. I still think that's a bit high. I think we only need that HR. I won't do it now, but I think we only need that HR really when it's on a small screen stacked, and even then they're separated by images. So should we just remove that? Because I really don't like it. I don't like the fact there's a HR wrapped in a div. There's also saves us having to do that, which is one less bit of JavaScript, but I will just do that and do that. One less bit of reflow, awesome. And then that means I only need to put that padding on the bottom of speaker blurb on small screen. So when is the breakpoint? $600. So that can be wrapped in. Oh, look at that. That can be wrapped in this. Awesome. Speaker blurb. We can probably lose that. I don't think we need that text describing people. Get your ticket. It's fucking call to action. Excuse my language. We've got a call to action there. So we can get rid of that lesser element in the dom. Dom, 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 dom. Cool. So I'm expecting that to disappear once we go live. I'm going to swap tickets and supporter section around just because I'm going to add in a section about the schedule. Okay. Okay. I need to update the newsletter. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording for a second. There's no pause on OBS. So I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. Right, so quick comfort break, we're ready to go. So now I think I've written down 3 things I need to do. Update the newsletter. Since last using this, the newsletter has moved from my old freelancer account to my personal account, and as it was just me, that was fine. But now it's actually moving over to That's Equal Bob as a data holder. So we notified all the newsletter people a while back, and yeah, so I need to move that over and then set up that. As you can see, purely web design was something I used to do years and years and years ago. And I think, to be honest, it's just going to be update that effectively. It might be update that as well. And then I've got add the schedule. So this is a dual format event, so you can either join us on a Zoom call and take part in the Q&A and stuff, or you can just watch the clip. Cool. And then update the header images. So I'm going to do the images first because I'm fed up looking at divs and p tags for a minute. So I'll just look at my beautiful self and then go back to it. So the images on this website, I'm going to say the header image. Updates the page content to the new event. When I say header images, I am talking about these. Now, this site actually loads a different image. That reminds me, I need to put lazy loading in. Loads a different image depending on what size screen you're on. You can see it kind of jumps at different points and stretches. That's because if you're on a big screen, you want a big image. But if you're on a mobile screen, you don't want an image that's the full width of the screen. So that's what that's about. So we'll fix that now. Now I believe it's done in CSS. Yeah, kind of that view. Okay, so we've got these 4 images. And then images, we've got these 4. So now I've got Canva account set up. And I was doing, why am I software Cornwall? I'm on my flipping software Cornwall one. I just swap over to my personal one. Canva. So I created this one the other day, and it's got a size of 2160 by 1080. So let's go have a look at what these are. Just put that into that view. 2000. Of course, it doesn't say. And it will hover over. God, I think it's 2000 by 1000. How do I get image damage? Is it going to tell me here? Yeah. So 2000 equals 2000 times 1125, and that's telling me down in the bottom corner. 1400 is 1400 times 788. 800 is 800 times 1125. And 600 equals 600 times 1000. Fantastic. And that accounts for basically large screens, small screens. We could go bigger than that, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to go back EB header. I'm going to make a copy. It's got like a ready filter on it, isn't it? Website header. Resize. So I need 2000 times 1125. Besides that, I don't need that, don't need that. Bang, done. So effects, how did I do that effect? It's the filter. Didn't do that. Can't for the life of me remember how I did that. Did I do that in Google Photos? Not in that one, maybe I did it in my Google Photos. I think it was one of them. Right. So if we go website header, take that filter off, none, because it was done in effect. Yeah. Well, what views are that? They're all too much. The one's splashed out. Should we see what that one looks like? JPEG. That's 90. Oi, 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 oi. I don't have no time for no technical problems. I've got to be on a call shortly, so Canva has been having a few problems lately. Cool, got the link come through for that. Cool. So if we and then refresh. Oh, that looks all right. Yeah, we'll go with that. Cool. Now the great thing about Canva, and this is why it's worth every single penny of the £120 per year, is you can just do multiple resizes. Now normally this would have taken me I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. 800, and this is the killer, the one where you change aspect ratio. That was always a pain, and just Canva makes it so much easier. Now the unfortunate thing is it doesn't mix it. Okay, download that one. JPEG. We'll go 85 because it's mobile. This was pretty introduced. Larger screen, higher quality. So if we copy that one in there, that one in there, and that one in there, They are a lot bigger. Okay, we'll come to that in a second. Honestly, 45 minutes of work just saved because of Canva. And I'm just going to go and refresh this. So I don't need a million copies of that. Okay, that website. Cool. Close that, close that, close that. And then just double check. Oh, I think I've got that installed locally now. I'm gonna run that. Those. Actually, I'm gonna run them all through. See what this does. Right. No, won't worry about it too much. So now I just need to do the same thing for speaker image. I don't need them in there anymore. So what's kind of that image? That's the one we supply to social media, isn't it? Okay. So what are the dimensions of that one? Speaker image. I think we're going to move away from using those as backgrounds. So I'm going to delete that one. Kernow DAT image is the logo inside of an image which is 770 by 400. Okay. So I need to resize this one to 770. Oh. That look better with black. It's kind of not right with either, is it? But if I do an element, Just a square. Backwards, and then change that colour to, let's say, the one. Change. I think that'll do. Done. Download. Very nice and high on this one because it's for social media, not actually for downloading through a web browser. Okay, so that's there now. Just wondering whether I should put that logo with a bit of a transparent background on it. No, that'll do for now. So, done that little update, sorted out the edited images. I'll do the schedule another time. Probably won't stream that, I'll just get that done. But yeah, so that's kind of the process I go through when I update Kernow DAT website. Super excited for this event. It's batshit crazy in the good way. Until next time, folks.